think that America needs to return to American values? Otherwise, we'll turn into Europe. So, what are American values?
Not exactly American values, but I mean,
That's what you said.
nationalism.
Okay. Meaning
I
what?
think a return to that will prevent us from being a third world shithole like the UK has become.
In what way is it a third world shithole?
Have you been to
No,
Britain?
have you?
I have.
Okay. What's wrong with it?
Trash littering the streets, ridiculous SA rates. It's basically unsafe to walk the streets at night anymore, and
Sounds like
it
the
was, I
American
would
South.
say, uh, no, I've felt safer everywhere in the American South that's not a city, uh, pretty much since forever, but it doesn't matter how far away you go from, you know, population centers, the cancer spreads.
Isn't the homicide rate in the United States like 20 times that in the UK or something like that?
Oh yeah, but we're also, I would say, on average, more diverse.
What does that have to do with anything?
That has to do everything.
So white people are less murderous than other groups of people?
Yes. The
Okay.
statistically provable. Yes.
Do you know, like, do you look at any stats that control for things okay, we'll do it this way instead. Are you aware that there are factors that like compound the, what would it be, like the risk or likelihood that somebody would be engaged in crime,
Yes.
violent crime, any
Yes.
kind?
But a
Okay.
lower class white is less likely to commit violent crime than a lower class black. A middle class black is more likely
Oh, there's
to
so
commit
much
crime
more to it than your
middle class
economic
white.
status.
Well, you can make the argument that it's culture, but culture is intrinsic to a person, so it really doesn't.
I wasn't making the argument that it was culture either.
Okay, so what's your argument?
Well, I'm
That
just asking you,
somehow it's
are you
okay.
aware that there are factors that affect somebody, being more likely or whatever to engage in crime later in life?
Yes, I just don't give a damn, especially when you look at places like Africa. It's the
Why
same
don't you
issue.
why don't you not give a damn?
Because it's not my problem. My problem is keeping my
What does that
people safe
mean?
and functional. My problem is keeping my people safe, functional, and alive. It's
So
not
if
to
we
do charity
know,
work
okay,
for
so you're
groups
just
that
in a
can't get
you're
its shit together.
you're just an avowed racist. So if we know, so you admitted that you know that there are factors that can increase crime, like being redlined, environmental toxins, school
Redlining
systems.
didn't affect Liberia. Redlining didn't affect Somalia. Any of the that
They
one
had
coastal city
redlining in
or
Somalia,
coastal.
really.
No,
That's
I'm saying it didn't affect.
because
That's
it
my
didn't
whole point, and
happen.
it's
Of course
still
it did. Okay, just shut up. Yeah, so in a place where it didn't happen, it didn't affect them. That's a wonderful argument. So anyways,
yes, and it's still the same shithole,
so anyways,
and they hadn't had colonial. Still this.
I'm literally trying to make a point here. So anyways,
Give a fuck.
so like environmental factors, the redlining being kept from, I mean, the African Americans in, that was Tulsa, right? They started to build generational wealth for each other. They had this booming economy, and then the white people came in with planes and like fucking firebombed it, right? So, now we destroyed a system for these people that was working really well. They could have had, like I said, some generational wealth, which are things that afford luxuries and abilities for people to give them a better life in the future, and that was destroyed. We know that there are certain like stress markers that get imprinted in children from living a stressful life, and so we had literally centuries of slavery, and then we had all of the Jim Crow laws and all the segregation and things like that, which can cause those kinds of effects as well. So anyways,
So
not
what
to
you're
gish
telling me
gallop too
is
much, but what I'm saying is, you know that these factors exist, right?
correct. I just
Now,
don't
do you
care
think
because when
that
you look
white
at
people
places,
are immune from any kind of factors that can lead to an increase in crime or violent crime or delinquency or whatever? Do you
No,
think that
but
white people are immune
when
to it?
these factors are present, it doesn't affect us as much as it affects most minority groups. And for
This is a
instance,
yes or no question. Do you think that white people are immune from this?
Ethiopia and Liberia, which have never,
So it's a yes or no question. Do you think that white people are immune from these things?
and they're just as shitty.
Chat, what is it doing? Yes or no? Do you think that white people are immune from these things?
That's not a fair way to argue. You have to approach this in a
Do you think
an
that
even,
white people are immune from these things?
you're a dishonest man.
I'll wait. It's a yes or no question. Do you think that white people are immune from these
Not to
things?
railroad me into serving your argument.
Still waiting.
It affects us less.
So the answer is no. They are not immune to them. So then why
Yeah,
did you say that you don't give a shit about these compounding factors when you know for a
because
fact that
they're
these
not my
factors
people. If they're a
affect
threat, they're
your
just a
people?
threat.
See,
If
when
they're
you're
a threat,
talking
they're
while I'm asking a question, you're probably not going to hear the whole thing. So, why did you say you don't give a shit when these compounding factors do affect your people?
because they don't seem to affect my people, no matter how severe they are, to the point where we do the things that the African American community regularly engages in, per se.
So now you're just back to denying that it does happen, or what?
I'm saying it seems to affect us less.
Do you think that white people have been oppressed as much as African Americans in the United States?
Asians less.
Buddy, do you think that African Americans have been oppressed less than white people in this country have?
Mm, no, but I'd say historically,
Okay, so then we have these compounding factors,
Historically,
and it
where
seems to be worse in the group that's been subject to the compounding factors far more than the other group. So your whole argument, your argument about it affects.
had equally bad.
You can come back, go ahead and request up, but you just won't shut the hell up. So I just have to get rid of you so I can actually talk. So go ahead and re-request if you want to. But anyways, so your claim that one group, it doesn't affect them as much, while admitting and acknowledging that the compounding factors haven't been as bad in that group. So of course, this is what you would expect to find. Now, I'm aware that there is data that does, like, it can control for some things like socioeconomic status, but socioeconomic status is hardly the thing that determines if somebody's going to be engaged in delinquency or crime later on in life. It is not the thing. There's also, like, I kind of mentioned a few of these. There's environmental toxins, and then there's all kinds of policy things as well. So, okay, it did request back. Oh, and then it took away its request. John. So, John, you know you can't you can't back up your racism. You tried to intellectualize your racism, but now you know that you can't do it. So, oh, chat, there it is. John, you only have 11 followers, so I literally cannot even invite you up. Your name is grayed out. Oh, there we go.
Yes, it's because I don't use this app like a full-time job.
Okay.
Hmm. So, are you gonna let me talk this time, or are you just
You
gonna try to
can
railroad
address the point. So you admitted that the group that
No,
you
so you're
you
just
say is
letting me
doing
make
worse
my
has
argument.
been
Railroad
has been subjected to those things that you. Why are you still talking? So
Because you're
you
a fucking
full on admitted that there are compounding factors that lead to delinquency, violence, crime, whatever. And then you full on admitted that African Americans in this country have been subjected to much worse much more severe factors. I would imagine you would agree for a longer amount of time as well. So then your whole argument about but it affects pale people less than them. That's just not. That doesn't seem to be the case here. You haven't brought that.
Okay. May I make my argument now, or are you gonna keep talking over me? Thank you. Excellent. All right. So this is a multi-facet thing I'm about to say. First of all, it's not just skin color. That's a dishonest way to approach race when there are different surgeries needed for Africans versus Eurasians in many cases. Um, Second of all, yes, Africans or African Americans have faced, I would say very bad oppression, and I think that is a bad thing. I don't think that's a thing that is morally right. However, it always seems to stick with them more, as in they are unable to break free from the shackles of the prior generations, where if you have Asian immigrants who faced, albeit for a shorter amount of time, just the same horrors they did, and still aren't a thieving, murdering bunch of shitbags
Well,
on
they were
average.
never enslaved.
Okay,
I can't. So that's
they were
actually
brutally
what you
oppressed
think
for the
about
same
black.
time
That's
period.
your actual opinion of black people in this country.
Yes, that is
So if
correct.
if you see a random 14-year-old, do you have any kids?
No, not yet.
Okay, so like if you were to drive by a school and you saw some black kids playing in the playground, you would think, "Oh, look at that bunch of murdering shitbags, murdering thieving shitbags."
Well, statistically, they're more likely to than any other
Go kill your.
race.
I'm happy to announce that I can now offer signed copies of both of my books. This is because I've reopened my merch store where you can get your very own Spanky, t-shirt, and more. If you don't know, Rational Answers to Stupid Questions is a collection of responses to about 100 of the most common anti-scientific tropes. The book is meticulously detailed, it's been fact-checked by real scientists, and it's written in a clear and easy to understand way. Evolution, the Big Bang, creationism, flat Earth, all of that plus more is in there. Facts That Aren't True is a collection of over 150 commonly held beliefs that are not true. Each claim has a story behind it. You'll learn the history behind the claim, the science that disproves it, or partially supports it in some cases, and lots of side stories and tangents. Categories include the human body, history, religion, animals, nature, language, and a hodgepodge of miscellaneous facts that aren't true. So if you want to be equipped to handle the misinformation that you see me tackling here every day, get a copy of one or both of those books for yourself. Thank you. What percentage of all the things that are knowable do I think we know? Nowhere close to 1/1 billionth of 1%.
Yeah, and that part that we don't know, that's where God exists.
Do you know what an argument from ignorance is?
No, sir.
Okay, it's when you say, "Oh, you don't know something, therefore what I believe is
No.
true."
I'm saying that's where he exists. That's where he is. We don't know it. We haven't discovered him yet. We don't know how to approach it. It's multifaceted, right?
Okay, that's
You know
a
what I mean?
claim. Can you back that claim up?
Well, it's kind of like asking the United States government to say, "Hey, could you prove that you guys don't have aliens?" You know what I mean? They don't. That's them. That God's not going to come down and prove to you everything. Everything around us should prove something, that there's something going on, right? There's some way we all got here, and there's more to it. Where did it come from, and then where does God exist, or where does God hang out? Where is heaven? I mean, could be multi dimensions, could be tons of things. It's like if you look at the way stuff is, like, golden ratio and just the design, intelligent design and something. Wouldn't you think that there's a rhyme and a reason, or maybe something that someone created something? And then if there is a big bang and it's moving outwards, wouldn't God be on the expanding universe that we could never catch up to him when he's creating at such a fast level?
No.
Okay. Just food for thought, bro. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I think about stuff like this sometimes too.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I'm not Christian or anything like that. I like to think about things like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I ponder, like, well, where is God if we don't know where he is, or if he is anywhere, or why don't we know where he is? Why can't we prove it? I mean, it's sort of like, yeah. I mean, I just figure that there's a lot of stuff we don't know. So it's kind of, and, I don't like fear consequences of going to hell